Well, we are live both on Zoom and YouTube. Good evening. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love. Today is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025, and I haven't been here in a while. I know. So this is going to be a combination of, a collective read and an intuitive hangout session. And of course, because I gave no notice anywhere of anything, I'm here by myself at the moment. And until some of you guys start showing up, I think I'm going to do an overall energy read for the moment. Oh, I do show one person has tuned in. And the way this works, for the benefit of those who are tuning in case there are more of you than what I can see here, which sometimes happens. um, just let me know if you'd like for me to pull a card for you, and I write your name down on my list. And when it's your turn, I call your name, and then energetically, I picture myself stepping into your field, like being there with you and feeling your energy field. And then I just give whatever I get, anything that I feel in my own body, anything that comes to me. This has been very helpful for me practicing how to hear my own intuition. One of the things that I've noticed over the last several years of doing this kind of thing is that every single one of us on this planet are psychic. We all have telepathy at our disposal. It's whether or not we actually believe that we do and accept that we do. I have been exposed to so many folks who write it off as coincidence. Oh, that's just, that's not real or whatever. And that's okay if that's what they want to believe. No skin off of my nose. Wow. This is a really cool card from the Alchemy Elementals deck. We have Water Lake Star. Looks like a glass full of either garnets or pomegranate petals is what it looks like to me. At any rate, I've been, and it's really picked up, okay? Let me just say, I've noticed of late. So I I haven't had a lot of physical contact with my nephew over the last few years, and we did get to chat. I was in his presence on Saturday, and I was thinking about him yesterday on Monday, and because there's a question that he's getting back to me about. And I thought to myself, well, if I don't hear from him by the end of the day, I'll reach out to him. Within the hour, he texted me, apologized for not getting back to me until now, and let me know that he would be getting back to me a little later. Now, to me, that is telepathy. That is him, either me feeling him getting ready to reach out to me, him feeling me wondering about him, that sort of thing. It counts. I think, we've really kind of gotten away from what is and is not telepathy. It's been described to us by TV shows, books, those sorts of things. But nobody really knows for sure what it is. And I don't, for me, that counts as telepathy because I'm seeing it more and more and more. I was in my room here. This is my room, my studio, and my room this morning, chatting back and forth in private message with my local friend here that I've known for more than 25 years. Her birthday's coming up. And I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, she brought over several items of clothing that she was getting ready to take to a donation drop off point to see if I wanted any of them, to see if my housemates could use any of them. And so she and I were chatting back and forth, and she had just asked me in the private message if I was able to use any of the items and whether or not my housemates had had a chance to look at them. And the next thing I know, I hear my housemate and her mother talking about trying on clothes. And I said, hang on a second. Were y'all just talking about the clothes that Kathy brought over? And sure enough, they were. And so, as far as I'm concerned, that is exactly the same thing. They had no way of knowing that I was in here typing on my computer back and forth with my friend about those clothes. And so I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that that's not telepathy. Because I absolutely feel like it is. And I would love to hear from any of you in the chat, either now or later. Are you experiencing that? Do you call it out when you do see it? Because I do. Let me just say, when I see that sort of thing, when it happens, I talk about it to anybody and everybody who will listen, because to me, that's an exciting development. That's something that is proof positive about what we got going. Oh my word, about what we got going on here. Well, the reason I say, oh my word, is this card is card number 35. See that 35 in the corner there? This card is card number 35. I find that highly interesting. 35 works out to be an 8, numerologically speaking. An 8 for me is not just manifestation, but materialization. And for me, that's where we're headed. That is where the human race is headed. Just as soon as we all, first of all, get over ourselves and realize the truth of who we are, um, we will begin to materialize things, not just manifesting them, because that's a whole different ball game than materializing things. To me, it is anyway. So, is this the only two? No, I thought not. So, I see Juanita. Hello. I'm so glad that you could join us. And Juanita, I don't recognize your name. So, if you're new here, I haven't been here in a while and I haven't done a live intuitive hangout session for a while. Right now, I'm doing a collective overall energy read because I didn't do it this morning. I usually do these in the morning, first of all, for a collective energy read. But I tell you, the energies have been so wild and woolly lately. I haven't been able to. And okay, awesome. Hey, Mark, I'm so glad you could tune in. So what happens here is I do, after this collective overall energy read, if you would like for me to pull a card for you, just let me know. I will put your name on my list. And when it's your turn, I'll make sure you're still here. And oh my goodness, the blank fairy card. And I'll tell you what all that is about. And the reason I left it blank. Um, And then I step into your energy field and just give you what I get. And see, for me, the tarot, sure you can. The tarot is a tool. Tarot cards, oracle cards, all of it is a tool to help me hear me, to help me attune to that larger divine portion of me that is closer to source and guides me I can quiet my ego enough to hear me. And this is and by you guys coming here and asking to get on my list, you're helping me tune into me. And I'm so very appreciative of that. So, Juanita, you will be first on the list. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there, love. Okay, so the very first one that wants to be read is this Zero card from the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. Now, here, I'm going to read to you what it says in the book about the Zero card for this deck. It's called The Guide, right? And it says here the key words for this is guidance, direct communication with fairy. And it says this card has been left blank for you to draw your own fairy guide upon. Some people may have a clear mental image of their personal guide to fairy, but if you don't have that yet, there are a couple of things you can try. First, try doing some loose sketches in a meditative state, asking your personal guide to help you draw, which I did do this, and I do have a sketch of my personal guide. I actually, my personal fairy guide, I actually drew this without knowing anything about this deck as a kid. And the moment I read this card, I knew that that was what I had done. I didn't know that when I was a kid, but I know it now that that is what that was. And I chose to leave it blank in this deck because I don't know why. I was just guided to leave it blank because each one of us will have our own way to get in touch with our own guide. So the fact that this card came out, and this card has only come, this is only the second time in all my time of reading with the fairy deck, and this is one of my most favorite decks. This is only the second time. And the fact that it came out tonight tells me that it's time for everyone to really hone their own practice of getting in touch with your larger, more expanded self in whatever way that works for you. And don't be afraid to experiment with different ways to do that. Because, a lot of people are afraid of the tarot, which I think is terribly funny. Because it's just you. It's just you with you, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And um, so, I really think that that's quite interesting that it come out tonight of all times, because like I said, it's only the second time that it has ever come out. And so I think maybe what it is also, oh, well, thank you, Mark. Mark said you look much better. Sound is also better. Well, I've been trying to work with, this is a new house. We moved, and I've been trying to mitigate the sound. I have a Blue Yeti microphone, but it was having some trouble. So right now I'm just using the microphone on the laptop, or well, the Logitech camera, but I got some advice from my son who has been in a band and they do recordings and that sort of thing, and he told me to put some fabric on the walls. So I got some I got some rugs and I got some what do you call them? I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some of those dish drying mats and I got them tacked up. So hopefully that'll happen. Well, plus I made sure to get some carpet for my room here, which is different from the other house that didn't have carpet in my room. Oh, thank you. Well, I feel better, Mark. So I feel pretty good this evening. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Trust me, last week was hard. That's why I haven't been here in the mornings because I'm just cutting myself some slack. If I get up and I don't feel like doing the morning mojo, I'm not doing it, because this is all about me with me. And I really think that, and I think everybody needs to cut themselves some slack, because honestly, what we're doing on this planet in these moments of now has never been attempted to do what I call an embodied ascension. Now, not everybody has decided to do that, but a lot of us, even those who don't realize that that's what they're doing, are doing it. The human body is changing, it's upgrading. And as we take these blasts from the sun, those CMEs, they do stuff to the body. If you've never heard of the Heart Math Institute, I highly recommend you take a look at the fact that the heart has its own electromagnetic field around it, as does the human body, as does the earth, as does the sun. And when the sun shoots off a coronal mass ejection, it affects the field of the earth and in turn affects all of us. Again, in varying different ways, too. Okay, so I was guided to pull from the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle and from the Alchemy Elementals deck. And the Alchemy Elementals deck wants to be first to be read. This is for the overall energy for the collective for today. And like I said, the fact that both of these cards are numbered 35 is very interesting to me. Water, lake, star. Okay, so life isn't always unicorns and rainbows. This is true, very true. Darkness has its way with all of us, and there are times when we are called to step into the unseen realms because there are lessons for us to learn there and parts of ourselves to develop there. And those times and those realms can be scary as fuck. Amid so many shadows and so much uncertainty, we don't always understand why we are going through what we are going through. But I'm here to assure you that your spirit knows exactly what it's doing and would never lead you astray. The light and the stillness that live in your heart always knows the way. Follow that light, my child. It is leading you toward your greatest heights and your highest desires. Now is a time for deep trust. I really believe that's true. I have said over the last little while here that, I have adjudged an awful lot of things in my life as mistakes, as horrific happenings to me. I mean, I'm 63, and with some hindsight, I now see that no matter what I have labeled things that have befallen me in my life, they were exactly what I needed to have happen. Because the things that I've learned from those things have served me very well. And it really is only over time and hindsight that I can see that I set all of that up for myself. I can blame no one. I've been in some pretty dicey situations, let me just say. Abusive situations, horrific things. Because I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, but Sheila, maybe you've had a really good life." No, not at all. Um, but I can now see where those things absolutely had to take place. And had they not, I would not be the person that I am right now. And so, wow, I love that. I really do think I'm going to stick with the idea that those are pomegranate petals in that cup there. There's something sacred about a pomegranate for some reason, and I don't even really know what that is, to be honest with you. I know they're beautiful. And I also I'll tell you the other thing that I'm getting from this too. This is all about that root chakra, right? That grounding security, wrapping my energy around the beautiful ruby core of the earth, right? Of the new earth. Let's just say it that way. And trusting in the fact of just exactly what that said. I don't think we make mistakes. We might label it as a mistake, but I don't think we make mistakes. I've decided that is that is a misnomer. We can label it whatever we think we need to or have to in the moment, because that's all part of that process as well. Um, This is my reading. Oh, Juanita, let me just say, I thoroughly agree with you. Here's what I truly feel. When someone is drawn to me in particular, this channel, any kind of reading, whatever is being said is for you in that moment. There's always something for me and there's something for you, because you wouldn't be drawn here otherwise. I don't advertise these things. I'm not out to make money. This is not what any of this is about for me. That's the other thing. I will never be contacting you and saying you need to let me read for you and that sort of thing. That's not how any of this works for me. Um, This one is X marks the spot. Now, this is the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, and I find this very interesting as well because this has a lot of portal energy in it. And oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't bring back dream information very often. I have started dreaming again to the point where I know I'm dreaming, but it's gone immediately upon waking. But when I do bring back stuff, it stays. I don't have any clue as to exactly what it's about or anything like that. But it's been a couple of years ago. And I actually recall going through a portal with another being just like this, front to back. So that's very interesting to me that this one, and it's called X Marks the Spot. See the love in disguise. And a quote, of course, this quote is from my very favorite Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Oh my gosh, feel into that for a moment, because I got to be honest with you. There was a time not that long ago, I'm going to say circa 2015, when I was hosting something called the Campfire Chat, and then it progressed over into something called the Sacred Healing Space Tribe, where I really wanted to do some deep healing conversations. And there was a couple of times folks got real triggered. And they would jump off the call the moment they were triggered. And I got to tell you, I actually welcome triggers now for myself, because if it has nothing to do with the person that triggers you, if you are triggered, there's something there to be looked at, to be loved into wholeness, to feel all the way through. It's a trauma, an emotional trauma that is begging for my attention, just absolutely begging for my attention, and resolution, actually, not just my attention, but resolution, loving into the wholeness of what we are to become. That's my feel about it. And so the message here, your unpleasant dreams as well as challenging life experiences show you precisely where to shine a light to become a more awake, powerful version of yourself. Yes, if you're being triggered, it's so you can see what is there. That's how we that is the way we can. It's a blessing. I look at it as a blessing. These dreams show you where you are out of balance or letting your ego get the best of you. Even though it is counterintuitive, turn toward the things that grab you by the collar, because they are trying to give you an important message. Turn your nightmares into right mares by asking how they are trying to help you. Then imagine yourself becoming powerful in the dream. Exaggerate this vision until you feel a shift in perspective. Doing this makes you wiser, more compassionate, and resourceful than before. You can greet the unpleasant aspects of life at the door, laughing, for you know they come bearing gifts. I love that. That is so true. Now, there's a dream symbol here, and it says dreams of an X are extremely powerful in that they often reveal our deepest wounds and vulnerabilities. For the record, dreaming of your ex doesn't necessarily mean you still hold a candle for them. They represent aspects of your innocence, passion, or sensuality that you may have cut off when the relationship ended. These dreams seek to reconnect you with the aliveness you may have left behind, and that can help you open your current quest and in your present relationships. Wow, I love that actually. Because I honestly, I look at everything as me talking to me now. All of you in this room right now are just another version of me having your own experiences, or I should say, the one, not me. Me, Sheila, the ego portion that calls itself Sheila, is having the Sheila experience. The Juanita portion of the one is having the Juanita experience, the Mark portion, and so on. And so um I love that. I actually love that, and I think it's very true. There's a mantra here in case anybody's interested. Shining a light on the part of my heart that loves my ex makes me magnetic to more love than from the one I'm with, namely me. That's true. I'll say this. I've never, even though I've been married and divorced 3 times, I've, I have, I still love all of those fellas. Of course. I mean, okay, yeah, they cheated, they wronged me, they were abusive. Well, the last one wasn't, but there was abuse and all of that sort of thing. Absolutely, absolutely. But again, I now see where I set all of that up. But I never once fell out of love or hated them or any of that. And so and I'm not saying, I know that there are people out there who do, but honestly, I've always felt that anyone who says they hate their ex, that's actually hurt speaking. That's hurt. That's woundedness. That's trauma talking. That's not true. It's not true on any sort of level. And once a being actually gets to the core of all of that, they I think they can see that. Okay, Juanita, I know that you're still here because you just said you're so right. So I'm gonna step into your field now. Okay, wow. There's a lot going on in your field, and I'm feeling very pulled to my right. Now, I mean, no, my left, my other right, my left. The last time that sort of thing happened, I found out that the person I was talking to was laying on their left side. So I don't know if that's what's happening with you, but there's some kind of pull over to the left. When I first stepped into your field, it was a little bit dizzying, which seems to indicate that for me anyway, that's a sign to me that you've got a lot going on energetically in your field. But this whole pulling over to the left, again, I don't know if you're lying on your left side, if you have something going on your left side, or one of the things for me is I receive new energy through my left and old energy leaves through my right. So I don't know how that actually works for you. But it is this pulling. Now I'm gonna step out of your field because I'm getting a little bit dizzy. Oh, hey Vanessa, I'm so glad you could join this evening, honey. I've missed you guys. Honestly, I have, and I'm so glad that you guys still show up after me not being here for a full week. It's really lovely that you guys show up. Okay, so which deck? And let me just say, y'all, I figured out a new way to I have a whole new setup over here for my cards, and it's so much lovelier. Which deck wants to come out and play with Juanita? Okay, it looks like the Dreams of Gaia Tarot wants to come out for you, my love. Um, yeah, I'm really ready now. Okay, y'all, I'm ready. I'm ready to start having conscious conversations again. So I need some of y'all to get over your little selves and come on, let's have some conscious conversations. Um, I was telling Mark today, um, I have some I have some topics that I really want to have conversations about. Um, for one thing, part of the reason why I feel that having conscious conversations is an important thing to do is because the art of conversation has been lost upon this planet, or at least it feels like it has. And I also know from years past when my housemate Lisa Flamino Rush and I and our friend BZ Rieger were having loads of conscious conversations back on my channel called Conscious Conversation Central. Um, I was contacted all the time by folks that were saying that our conversations were very helpful to them. And I knew that that would be the case. That was why I was so, I mean, it really got to the point where I was just driven. And I'm feeling that drive coming back again. Mark, Vanessa is she knows. That's why I didn't say anything because Vanessa knows the drill, don't you, Vanessa? And I only have Juanita and Mark on my list, Vanessa. So if you want a card, and I'll say it again because there are 6 folks now in the room. So that's what a live intuitive hangout session is. This is really to help me. Y'all are helping me. You might think I'm doing this for you, but let me just assuage you of that right now. No, you actually help me because I use this as a tool to help me tune in to me. We remember I said you had a lot going on in your field? Juanita. Whew, that card's taking my breath away. I told you I felt you had a lot going on in your field. Holy smokers. Wow. This is the Ten of Fire. Holy mackerel. Okay, so here's the other thing. Sometimes you can have a lot of stuff going on energetically in your field and you don't know it. Sometimes it can take it just depends. Everybody is different. Everybody's going to experience this shift, this evolution of consciousness and expansion of consciousness and upgrade of the human body in varying and sundry different ways. So you cannot compare yourself to anybody else. Nobody. And I highly recommend that nobody sit around and say, well, they got that going on over there. What, I guess I don't have. No, you just leave that behind because that's more of that, conformity programming. That's a program. Trust me when I tell you, we have all been taught from the time we're little that we're all supposed to do things this way. No, we're not. The whole point, the entire point of coming here is to have a completely separate and different experience from everybody else. That's the whole entire point. So we cannot compare ourselves to each other. We cannot. You might experience some of what I go through, and I might experience some of what you go through, but it's not going to be identical. In no way, no how, right? So we got to get over that. And no wonder why Juanita is here, right? I'm telling you, look at that, man. Holy, now I will tell you too, Juanita. I've been told by other psychics and readers that I am what my partner here at New Light Streaming Love calls a spiritual catalyst in some ways. Um, when folks find me, it's because it's time for stuff to shift. Um, because I just tell it like it is, and I just give what I get. And I don't even know most of the time exactly what it is I'm saying. So this really shows it for me, for you, what this is about. And so the key words to this card are doing, self-mastery, mastery, evolution, enlightenment, light work, light being, and discipline. The Ten of Fire symbolizes mastery, not just of a skill or a craft, but of oneself. It means understanding the tools of your craft and wielding them with skill, precision, and craftsmanship. It is about knowing yourself and using that knowledge and understanding to bring to you all that you need and desire with the same level of skill, precision, and craftsmanship. The master, illustrated in the Ten of Fire, knows how to wield his personal power. He moves with clear intentions and he acts with the same intent. He is aware of what motivates his behavior and actions and exhibits complete self command. He acts with deliberation and with complete awareness of the effect of his actions will have upon himself and his environment. He is not only confident, he is capable also. He has evolved from a person who lacked awareness and perhaps even blamed others for the problems in his life because he was unable to see that every action gives rise to a consequence. I could swear we just said that. Could y'all swear I just said that? That is true for all of us in varying different ways. That is exactly what we do as we move through life. And like I said, we can label stuff a mistake if that's what we got to do. But I'm telling you, I don't think we make mistakes. I think we get to situations exactly where we need to be and what we need to get from those situations. He once stumbled about, his inexperience resulting in more mistakes than triumphs, but he continued and in doing so reached a crucial moment of enlightenment when he realized that in order to succeed, he had to take command of himself and his life. Now, I know this to be true for myself because I lay on death's door for almost 12 years. And it was not until I took my health back into my own hands and stopped looking for others to tell me what to do and started learning how to ask myself questions and then get quiet and listen for the answers. Because we will tell ourselves what's the best thing. Oh, we might say, oh, but I don't know anything. I didn't go to school for being a doctor. I don't know. Okay. I don't look too much like I'm at death's door anymore, do I? No, I don't. I'm not fully 100% recovered. No, not at all. But I've had over 20 surgeries, so it might take a minute. But I'm telling you, this is awesome for you, my love. He had to take responsibility for every choice made, for every action and every emotion. From that moment on, he would shape his life and he would shape who he was. He would no longer be a slave to outside forces. He would become a master. And I contend that that is exactly what all of us, bar none, on this planet are here to do. Now, some folks won't will not wake up to the truth of that. They won't want to believe it. They and whatever. And that's cool. Everybody gets to choose how they want to move through life, how they want to experience life. But you, my dear, it looks to me like you've made a choice. And if you were not already aware of this, you are being told by coming here tonight that you do have that capability. And wow, as far as I'm concerned, ooh, I hope that was helpful for you because, oh my gosh, that was fabulous. I just have to say. So, ooh, and I would love to hear from you, Juanita. So reach out to me. You can always reach out to me at consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com. You can friend me on Facebook. I use my real name. Mark said, I'm looking at a rainbow. First rain here since I think last August. Wow, it's beautiful. Breakthrough energy for all of us. Yes, I love that, Mark. How lovely. So, anyway, Juanita, I would love to hear from you if you feel up to reaching out and letting me know, if you want to have a chat with me. Like I said, this is not, no charge, no money. I don't do that kind of thing. That's not what this is about for me. And trust me, people don't, it's not like I had one person say, well, people will take advantage of you. No, no, they won't. I'm in charge of me. Don't worry. I'll handle me. So anyway, Mark, I know you're here because I just saw you say that about that. I'm going to take a kratom real quick because boy, I'll tell you what, that really, I'm actually warm. I might have to turn my fan on because wow, Juanita, that was quite the thing you got going there, honey. All right. Vanessa, you did say you wanted a card, yes or no? I'm putting you on my list because I think you did say. Okay, Mark. I guess it's okay. I put you on my list. You're next after Mark. Um, I'm about to step into your field, Mark. And you've been in my field all day, so now let me be up in yours. Well, I'm kind of getting that. Okay, so I have a symbol for calmness, it's a fish bobber feeling, like on a glass lake. And that's what I'm getting for you at the moment. I do have a little bit of just now actually a little tinge of my chest tightening up, just a little bit. Um, but I've been having that off and on, so that may be mine anyway. But as far as your energy field, I'm getting the whole, how you feel when just pretend with me for a second. I've been heavy most of my life, and there was a time when I would get in the pool and I could stand straight up and down in the 12 feet of water of the pool, and I would stick out about up to here. And it was just like a fish bobber. I could stand straight up, just bob because of the, fat floats, man. I'm just saying. So I know how a fish bobber feels when it's in the glassy lake and it's just kind of bobbing along. And that's what I'm getting from your energy field. So I don't know if you're feeling calm or not, but your energy. Hey, you, Astro Gardens. Everybody, Astro Gardens is Andrew Foss. He is the facilitator of the Oracle Group Facebook group. And I every time you show up, I say again, it's time for us to do a conversation, my love. The accidental astrologer is waiting for you. So you just hit me up when you're ready, because actually I would love for you and me to get together and discuss my chart, because I keep hearing stuff about this eclipse coming up and how it's supposed to affect me. And I know you would be able to talk to me about it. So whenever no, I understand, love. Listen, no apologies are necessary. As I told you before, it will happen when it's meant to happen. I'm just letting you know. Every time I see you, I will always say, you hit me up when you're ready, because I'm always ready. I will make myself available when you're available. So don't you worry about that. Okay, Mark, which deck wants to come out and play with Mark? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be the Shadowscapes Tarot, but no, the Starman Tarot wants to come out for you. They're sitting right one in front of the other. For a Gemini, I'm calm right now. I've known calm Geminis. So, I think it's a misnomer about for me, since I've been trying to teach myself about astrology, which is one of the reasons why I love talking to uh Andrew, because he's doing the same, I believe. And of course, we both pay attention to Laura Walker. And oh, sure, honey, I'll do you one. You're right after Vanessa, Mark, and then Vanessa, and then you. Um, um, I was going to say that I really, I mean, yes, I can see the Libra aspects of my sun sign, but I really present more, my personality presents more with my ascending, and that's Aquarius. And so, and according to what I'm learning, that's apparently about right. That's the face we show is our ascending sign. And I like I said, it's so disingenuous to think that sun sign is all there is, because it's not. We are a combination of all the planets and where they were at the moment of our birth. And there's so much to learn about it. Okay, so even though I said that your uh, field is calm, this card is pretty wild looking. Nine of Wands, but it's so interesting. There, well, but you see, just based on some of what you have said, I could see why this card is presenting. Okay. Um, okay, so yeah, you see here, uh, this right here is indicating to me that there's some things that you get in your head about, right? Um, and actually, there was something that very specific you said to me not too long before we all met here this evening. Something about I may have to 86 you or something. Um, oh, your ascending is Virgo. Now that's interesting indeed for for a lot of reasons. Yes, you're right, Andrew. That's way too newspaper horoscope. Uh, but see, that's all. Oh no, Sag ascending. I see where it says Sag ascending. What's the MH then? I don't understand what MH is. At any rate, I feel like that's what this is saying right here. Um, which is easy to do. We all get in our heads, because that's what, that's how we're taught from the time we're little, Uh, first of all, conformity. I just want to be like everybody else. I just want to be normal. Oh my God, I said those words myself. I want to be normal. You show me normal because I don't think it exists. I think that's a whole misnomer too. Um, yeah, there's a lot in this card for me that talks about being in your head and you fighting it, like, fighting yourself. But also, I kind of see this too for myself in many ways about because I do too, I get into my head as well, right? This is also a very multidimensional card for me because I'm seeing a lot of different beings doing a lot of different things in this card. So I think uh, there's something about past thoughts that have hung on longer than might uh, that you've held on to a little bit longer than you necessarily might need to. And I don't know if it's that you've held them out here instead of pulling them very close, like we talked about before, like what was said in the alchemy elemental about the overall energy, right? Pulling them in close, sitting them down, having that conversation with self and with those feelings, those memories, whatever that is, to feel it all the way through so that it can be released. Um, the majority of it is outside of you from what I'm seeing here. It's just like just at the very top. But there's something too about because of all the way the wands are positioned around this being as well, right? Like for me, about the holding it out there, right? Instead of pulling it in closer and allowing it to move all the way through and then being able to move out, um, to allow whatever new will come along, right? Is there anything else about this? I do see, and I don't know what it actually means or anything, but I keep being drawn down here to the bottom. You see, there's a face down here, and then there's these little tiny legs, it looks like, and almost like there's something being born out of this head. So I feel as though there is, newer energy that wants to be born, right, through you. But all of this has to be cleared out first. I think that's part of what this is saying, at least to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Vanessa. I was just, okay, well, please do contact me, love, and we'll get together again soon. Okay. Yes, drive safe going to the airport, wherever that is. Okay, well, Mark, I hope that was helpful for you. I know it's kind of sounded a little disjointed, but that's what I got for you. Um, and Vanessa was next after Mark. So, Andrew, you're up. And I guess you're the last one. I haven't had anyone else ask for a card. I do see we have 7 in the chat, so maybe I should explain again. This is an intuitive hangout session. If you want a card, just let me know and tell me you want a card, and I'll put your name down. Andrew is my last one. And if I have no more takers, well, then I'll just wrap this up. But before I read for Andrew, I want to say this again. I'm going to wait until after the eclipses are over, but I am starting a book club. And this book club, and I'm happy to do two if we have enough people that want to do a morning one and enough people that want to do an evening one, I can do two. I'm not above having two bookmarks in a book at a time, but I want to gather with folks, as y'all will be able to see on this channel. When a book comes into my field and I am nudged, I record those books if as long as I get permission, which I did for the Jeshua channelings and the Soul Journey. That was already available on the internet, having been read by an AI, and so I figured if they could do it, I could do it. And oh, thank you for that, Andrew. I will be looking for that. Y'all can go. Andrew said, by the way, Laura just posted her new moon report. She talks at length about the effects of the eclipses. You can find Laura's work at oraclereport.com. You can also join Oracle Report Facebook group. And Andrew at astrogardens.com writes about the astrology every day and does a lovely job of writing about what's going on the planet as well. At any rate, I'm still looking for folks that want to join me to read this in company. Now, this is not going away and reading it and then coming together to talk about it. No, that's not what this is. This is gathering once a week for 2 hours at a time to read it together and to stop and ask questions and talk about it, have conscious conversations about the book. as we go. If it takes a year to read it, oh well, it takes a year. We take turns reading it. If anybody doesn't want to read, they don't have to. I'm fully capable and happy to read for everybody if nobody wants to read. Um, but I got to tell you, I have done this now. We have another group going, and we've done this for several books. We did it with the Jeshua channelings. We did it with the Soul's Journey. We did it with all of Florence Scovel Shin's works. And I'm telling you, reading these things in company with others has enriched the reading so much. It is so enjoyable. There's no wait, it doesn't cost a thing. Just 2 hours of your time to do it. We record it so that if you miss, you won't miss the conversations that happen. I make a private message group on Facebook, and the recordings are always marked private unless it's been such a great recording that I want to share it. I always ask for permission first, and then we share it out. That has happened before. You can go over on Sassy Seer Sheila and you'll see, well, that might have been Corona Rising. Um, but that has happened before because sometimes the conversations are so good that I just know that they could be helpful to people. And so when I get nudged like that, I always ask, and usually nobody has a problem with it. So if you want to be included, if you want to join us for that, DG Walker in the house. Oh my gosh, honey pie, it's so good to hear from you. It's been a long time since we've caught up too. You need to reach out and let's do a catch up. Let's do a Zoom catch up. But if you would like to do this, I want to do all of them. It's not just this book. He wrote the Celestine Prophecy. I believe the next one is the ninth insight or the 10th insight. I'm not sure, but there's several books of this. And I am convinced this is supposed to be fiction. I think he got this directly from source because I haven't read the book, but I saw the movie. And by the way, I own the movie, and if you want to get together and watch it with me, let me know. We'll do that too. Because I tried to put it up on YouTube. YouTube didn't give me a copyright strike, but they made me take it down. Um, so unfortunately, even though I own the movie, um, I'd been working at a new federal job. I bet you guess how that worked out. Oh my, okay. So anyway, Andrew, I know you're still here. I'm getting ready to step into your field. And I'll just say one more time, if y'all want a card, let me know because Andrew's my last one. DG, do you want a card? Because I'll put you on my list. You can be right after Andrew if you want one. Otherwise, I guess this will be the last one you do. Okay, awesome. Okay, Andrew, let me step into your field, dear. I felt like I needed to take a really deep breath as I step into your field. So that's kind of interesting. And your field doesn't feel chaotic, but I did start getting a little dizzy immediately of stepping into your field. So I gather that must mean that, I mean, I already know that you have such a busy life. You're a busy fella. I know that already about you. This feels a little different though. I'm feeling okay, so I'm feeling something and again, I don't know if this is mine or if it's yours, but because Mark actually saw something in my field earlier today, but I'm feeling, and I was not feeling this before I stepped into your field. That's why it's either mine and it became more pronounced once I'm in your field, or it you are experiencing something similar to what I'm experiencing, which could be the case. um, I started seeing the blue electric flashes in my like, and I had this several years ago where during meditation I was seeing blue lightning going through my brain. Uh, and so it was a little bit similar to that just now, right? And it also had a feel of on the right hemisphere coming down the back of the neck and into the shoulder area. So the blue lightning and then also that sensation. So I don't know if maybe you're experiencing some things like that or if there's just because I'm convinced that we all have similar and yet different things going on in our physical vessels as the human vessel is upgrading and changing. And I feel like even if you're not having the any sensations, which you may not, right? But I feel like um, if that hasn't started happening yet, oh, okay. And I just actually was also shown something else too. And my ear over here just started doing something interesting too. Like like the sound of my voice actually caused my ear to it's been heavy here. I've had to bear the weight of a lot of others stuff. Okay. My ear did some sort of a like the eardrum uh trembled or quivered or yeah, see it just did it again. And so I don't really know what that means or why it was shown to me in that way. Okay. The Tarot of Dreams wanted to come out for you. Um, but I find that very interesting. Because I really do feel like that's a sign of some upgrades going on, right? And oh wow, the Justice card. Wow. And it just came flying right out. And of course, this is the card of Libra as well. Um, let's see what this one in particular has to say about it. Okay, so I'm also being shown, see now, not only, okay, in this card, not only is it that the eyes are closed, but they almost look like non-existent, right? It's not blindfolded, but it almost looks like the eyes don't exist. I don't know. I'm trying to make it. Let me see if I can make that still for a second. Can you see that, Andrew? Like, like this justice doesn't require the eyes to see, right? Ooh, and with the ear, ooh, ears to hear. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. You said you've had to bear the weight of other stuff. So what? So maybe there's some beings around that just don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and may never, by the way. And I know that that's hard, but I also know that that is the truth of it. Not everyone who came to Earth at this time came to wake up, came to see the corruption on the planet, the fact that we are doing an embodied ascension. Not everybody is going to do that. And again, it's okay if they don't, because it is their own experience, right? And but it makes it tough if you know that you have, right, made the choice to do that. And so it says the principle of fairness, being too judgmental, fighting for the disenfranchised or the dispossessed, and the lack of bias. In the faith card, the fool searches for a moral compass, a belief system about the nature of right and wrong that he can use in order to reach conclusions and make judgments about things that happen in everyday life. In justice, the fool will use that belief system and the conclusions and judgments that flow from it in order to change the world around him and make it a better place for its inhabitants. Now, I do see that as, your blog is very much that. In other words, he will take the concepts he learned in the faith card and put them into action. In justice, the world is governed by belief in an underlying fairness. That fairness can be established by a deity or organizing intelligence, or it might be up to humankind to provide whatever fairness there is in this world. Either way, fairness, equity, and justice, I don't care for that word, equity, and justice become the overriding principles by which we live our lives. Without this energy, life would be reduced to pure savagery. In many ways, this card represents the essence of what it means to be human. The image shows an armored woman who floats in the sky and who seems to be half machine. Rather than holding a scale as in other decks, in the Tarot of Dreams, she actually is the scale. As in other cards, devices or mechanisms signify mental activity. This justice is seen as a rational, intellectual force that sets itself in opposition to the intuitive or the instinctual. In matters of fairness or law, it is the rational side of our minds that must prevail if we wish to avoid bias in our judgments. Of course, if we take the concept to its extreme, we have overly cold judgments that lack any human considerations. In a reading, this card may indicate that someone is being too judgmental. The woman is armored because often in life we must fight to be treated fairly or to win fair treatment for the disenfranchised or dispossessed. That's a matter of personal opinion in my view. Participants in our systems of law must often fight to avoid being influenced by the powerful. She holds the two pans of her scale with complete equilibrium. The ideal of justice is that it be applied even-handedly. Although this ideal is rarely achieved, it is still the ideal and is a cause for hope. The most striking feature of this card is that the figure of justice is eyeless. Traditionally, justice wears a blindfold to indicate that she applies the law without bias. The eyelessness of the Tarot of Dreams figure tells us that in this deck, the figure of justice is committed to this concept that it has become, is so committed that it has become a part of her rather than merely a blindfold which she can take on and off at will. We know that this justice will judge us fairly and not be peeking out from beneath her blindfold to favor the rich or well connected. It also reminds us that figures illustrating archetypal concepts need not be perfect physical specimens. Those who lack sight or hearing or who have other disabilities can serve as powerful representations of basic life energies just as effectively. In fact, this idea is in keeping with the whole point of the Justice card. And there's a Hebrew letter up here in this corner up here, and it says Lamed means ox goad. The doctrines of justice will remain purely theoretical without the means for some kind of discipline, the ox goad, to enforce them. And of course, the astrology of the card is Libra, the sign of the balanced, harmonious environment, which is the natural goal of laws of justice. Now, for me personally, being a Libra, I actually feel a little bit differently about that. I feel like, first of all, I'm constantly seeking balance. And I'm not ever fully balanced, but that's okay because that's part of it. Andrew said, few people in my world choose the red pill, and it's kind of hard being around them. I could imagine that's the case. Empathic people have had a hard time. Yes, I can feel that too. I want to believe in justice. I fear outside influences are preventing it. Hello, Eli. Well, here's the thing for me, and I feel this with all of me. There nothing is as it appears at all on this planet. And I feel as though a lot of what is being shown on the world stage right now, a lot of it isn't actually real. I feel that with all of me too. Um, I mean, it could be real if enough buy into it or whatever, I guess. Um, but in these moments of now, with the deep fakes, cheap fakes, misinformation, disinformation, all those sorts of things, I kind of feel as though I just and I've seen an awful lot of this of late. It ain't over till it's over. And there's because nothing is as it appears. Um, and it's all a matter of perception and the perspective and the perception of that perspective. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a lot about that. Now, what you said there about it's hard being around them. I feel that, and I understand in your situation that there's really not a lot you can do about that. But, and I say this with all love, that is a choice that you're making, and and there has to be a way for you to be able to do your own inner work and continue to be in that sort of situation, right? Um, so and I totally get that because I know a little bit about your situation, my love. So but I and I feel for you because I know that that's true. I made the decision. I can love folks and I love everybody, but I can love you from over here and not be around you because I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't have to expose myself to all of whatever they got going on because everybody gets to choose. And, and like I said before, I don't think we make mistakes. I really don't. Uh, just I can label it a mistake in the moment, but it's really not a mistake. And there are lots of good things to learn from anything. And that's the way I feel about it, at any rate. I hope that was helpful for you, Andrew. And not just, listen, Andrew, not just for our conscious conversation, not just for the accidental astrologer. I want to make this very clear to you, Andrew. I'm here for you. If you just want to chat with somebody that you know is open and already already chose the red pill a long time ago, hit me up, dude. You know, at a moment's notice we can zoom and you can, we can chat. I love you so much and I'm so appreciative of you. So, just hit me up. I'm always here for you. Yes, definitely. Just found this card online and posted it on my desktop. Okay, awesome. Yes, well, I mean that with all of me, Andrew. Anytime, yes, I do want to do conversations that I share on the channel, but I also wanted to offer that to you. Anytime you need to chat with someone, you just hit me up because I'm here for you, dude. I promise you. Okay, DG, you still in the house, babe? If you're still in the house, let me get a little water here and then I'll step into your field. Yeah, and let me just say this too. I don't know if you're up for this, Andrew, but anybody who would like to know a little bit more about your astrological chart, if you go to oraclereport.com and click on, is it the charts tab or is it under data? Andrew, because Andrew, for a very nominal fee, can run some charts and he'll send you an entire email of all kinds of really great information for you to, delve into your own chart. And it's information that, you might be able to find for yourself at some point, but it's very helpful, and it, like I said, there's not a whole charge, not a lot of a charge to it, and it's very helpful. So tell us again, Andrew, where I know it's oraclereport.com, but I'm not sure if it's data or if there's actually a charts tab up there. So type it in there for me. So I'm going to make sure, or I can go and look at it too. Okay, DG. Gosh, what's it been? At least 2, maybe even 3 years since I've read for you. Let's step into your field. Why am I feeling like I need to loosen up my body before I go into your field? Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I feel a very slight rocking sensation, which for me usually means that something is either just beginning to initiate or is just winding down for you. So is this initiation or is this dying down? I'm feeling initiation because when I asked the question, it started speeding up a little bit. And there's something about the left eye or something because Is it the eye or? Hmm. Okay, so I don't know if when I okay, so it's the left, so that for me that's incoming. So it is initiation, and I'm feeling like if you have not already had this, you probably will. And I've had it more than once. And I've had it in both eyes, but at different times. Um, the very first time this happened, I was not sure what in the world was going on. And left eye is often dry and irritated. Okay. Um, well, I'm being shown what happened to me with I started getting yeah, see, I wanna do this. I'm being shown what happened for me with a visual anomaly. I'm gonna call it like that, okay? And I wasn't sure if this was something about my eye or, what, but I think it has to do, again, with the physical upgrades of the human vessel. I started having this, it started out as a very small, almost full circle, but not quite. Uh, I'm going to draw it here, sort of like a moon type situation, but it was more like a sea, right? And it had all these kinds of um, see how it's like that, and it was all different colors, these bright, vibrant. It almost looked like stained glass. Okay, um, I want to say sacred geometry was involved with this. Um, but it started out really small, and it was wherever I turned my head, it was still there, always in my left eye at first, and then a few days later it went, and it sort of actually eventually it got larger and spread out to the peripheral of my vision of my left eye. And then it left, right? And then I had it on the right eye several days later. And one time I had it in my right eye, and it never did show back up in my left eye, but sounds like auras I see when I get migraines. Well, I guess I've never really had a migraine, or at least not that I know of, and I wasn't in pain when this took place. And I don't know if what I'm describing is what you're going to experience, right? I'm just being shown that. So I'm wondering if you may, am I being shown her migraine? No, I'm not. I don't think that I'm being shown your migraine. I think this has to do with the upgrading. So, yeah, and again, it may not be specifically the exact same because, like I said, it happens differently for everybody. That sounds quite similar. Okay. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Do you have that every time you have a migraine, or is it sometimes? Because I'm just wondering if because I ask myself if I was being shown your migraine, and I gotta know. Well, see, and it could be, and again, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. There's nothing like that. This is not any kind of medical advice. Don't ever do anything I say or anything like that, because that's not what any of this is about. But It could be that some of the migraine stuff is all about upgrades too. I mean, I'm sorry, but at this point, nothing is what it seems. And I mean that on every single level. No, I did not go to medical school. No, I do not know at all what I'm talking about. However, I also know that I lay on, like I said before, death's door for more than 10 years. And and I now feel with all of me that part of what that was, part of what I went through had to do with what is going on the planet as well. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I've got no way of proving it one way or the other. But you explained to me why I was told that the next step for me would be a motorized wheelchair. And I am not in a motorized wheelchair. I don't even need to use a cane anymore. So I don't know, I mean, uh, absolutely anything could happen. And I don't know if that's what I'm being shown, that you are going to experience something similar to what I'm describing, or if what I'm telling you is that maybe some of that was part and parcel upgrading of your system. And listen, the kind of damage that I've done to this body, I'm fortunate that I'm still here. That all these upgradings are still going on. I thank my body every single day that it hung on, because trust and believe I really shouldn't be here. If you only knew what I've been through. It's a wonder that I'm still here. Okay, so what deck wants to come out and play with DG? Who wants to play? I'm actually feeling the fairies for you, my dear. Well, see, I like I say, um, some of what some of what I've been through, I feel like I made it harder on myself. I it didn't have to be that hard, Sheila. It really didn't. But I'm a little bit hard-headed and didn't want to listen to myself. Didn't believe that I was connect. Oh my God! For a long time, I was so jealous of other people who had guides and all of that kind of thing. Well, I'm not connected, is what I kept with saying. It's different for every being. Oh my God. I am not kidding you. This just dropped out of here. The singer of transfiguration. Okay. That is it. That is exactly what is happening. On some level, and I just, wow. My goodness, that is too much. DG. Oh my. I love that. Card number 11, which is a master number. The singer of transfiguration. I have been shown, I've been shown that uh, there are those of us on the planet who will be transfiguring right before people's eyes. I know that I am one of them. I was told that I'd be a pulmonary cripple when I was 25. The doctor died. Oh my. Andres Carmona, how are you, my dear? Oh, he says, hi, Sheila. I would be grateful to explore anything that would come from the sharing of each other's fields. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you were able to join us. Are you telling me you want me to pull a card for you? Because I'd be happy to put you on my list. DG, the key words for this card are transformation, transcendence, metamorphosis. The singer of Transfiguration tells us that we have been through the gate. We have passed through the initiation process, and we have reached a new way of being, reflecting deep transformation within ourselves. Things will never again be what they once were. Things will never be seen in the same way by us, and this is a good thing. This singer's joyful, passionate, bright blaze of color heralds a time of fulfillment and accomplishment. As with the other singers, the power and joy of this one radiates especially strongly to the things and beings symbolized by the cards around it. Like the reborn, renewed phoenix, this singer is aflame with vibrant, expanded life. There really isn't much I can say about this. Not even the fairies seem to have anything to add. They're sitting around here smiling blissfully, even old G. Doom, and humming an ethereal and beautiful melody. The cat in my lap, Sylvie, is purring so loudly it sounds like she is singing, as indeed she is. So are we all. Jackpot. This card in a reading signifies the joy of success after a time of struggle. A new way of life has been accepted and is being integrated. A sense of inner peace is growing. The struggle has all been worth it. This is a time of consolidation and joy, and is both a reward for past achievements and a time of preparation for the next climb up the path. Oh my goodness, my dear. How cool is that? Now, if you have not already experienced some of that, then know that that is about to take place for you. Holy Moses, especially after what I got for you. I'm sorry, but I just love it when that kind of thing happens, man. I hope that was helpful for you, DG. I hope too that you will reach out and let's have an old-fashioned catch up in Zoom whenever is good for you. Now, Andres, did you want a card? You never did answer if for sure if you want a card. Otherwise, that's it for me, folks. This is I actually have been here for, well, almost 2 hours, not quite. Been 2 weeks of stressing. Well, I'll tell you, I've decided I'm not stressing about anything anymore ever. Because here's why. Again, I keep being shown over and over and over again. That's me choosing to stress. In my case, that is absolutely what it is because I don't think we make mistakes. We can label it that if we want to, but if I just relax, there was a time when I was being told to relax into myself, to really get it that we do know what we're doing. Just because we think we don't know what we're doing does not mean that we don't know what we're doing. I know that sounds kind of goofy, but the truth of the matter is, I do now really feel like that's the case, especially because of what I've been noticing lately about how telepathy is real and every single being on this planet does get telepathy. You just don't call it that. We are so much more than we know. And at every turn, it keeps being shown to me just how much we are. So we just have to get over ourselves. There's a lot of programming and conditioning that keeps us from knowing that. It's time to let that go now. I think. And so, all right. Well, I guess that's it for me, you guys. I love you so much. Thanks for coming here and sharing your time with me and allowing me to read for you. As I said before, this really is a privilege for me that you guys will allow me to do that because it's very helpful. Daryl, you now you show up just when I'm leaving. Good gravy gracious. Well, that's what I get for not telling people ahead of time. But, that's the thing. There's a thing. Let me just say this will be, oh, please do, Andrew, because I'm really looking forward to a catch up with you too, honey. Um, and Daryl, by the way, it's not that I've forgotten because I haven't. I've got your information, and you can look for that to come to you by later this week. Everything that I told you I was going to do for you. Um, it's just that, with the move and my housemate having been in the hospital, boy, I can't wait till you guys get to have that download because boy, has Lisa got a story to share. And she has said that she will be sharing that with you guys. My other team member here at New Light Streaming Love, which, by the way, go to www.knewlightstreaminglove. Who knew you could get a website instead of .com .love? I wondered, right, when we were looking into website names, I wondered if you could, and by golly, we could. So hey, we did. But if you go there, you'll see all the different stuff that there is. Mostly Journey into It has all of her stuff up there, and she's a single mom. And if you want to buy a gift or something for someone, I would love for you to support her in that. Um, you can also reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I highly recommend that you do so and hit that notification bell because I don't do any kind of notification to you guys about when I'm going live. I just show up. But I will be showing up more often, I promise. As the energies allow, I will be here more often. And because I'm ready to start the conversations. I said that last week and then I promptly disappeared again. But, I really want to, and I know that they are helpful for folks as well. So that's it. Until next time, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It really is just a matter of your perspective and your perception of that perspective in that moment. And if it's not feeling very joyful, give yourself a minute, step back, maybe over to the side, try to look at it from a different angle, because there is always more than one way to see something, to view a thing. And if you can't figure it out, hit me up. I'll help you see it in a different light. Mwah. Till next time, my friends, be well.